Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading. This is Yetta Pearl, and this is your general angel reading for the week of December 6th through 12th of 2021. So it's a really cool time of year. Yeah, getting towards Christmas season and all that stuff. No matter who you are affected by the Christmas season, no matter what. And so it's just an awareness thing, I think. That they did this in the last reading as well. They talked at length, I guess, about Christmas and that it's coming. And then in the end, there was kind of no, no advice, no continuation of the message. It was just, acknowledging that it affects everything. Okay, so I still don't know. That's all they're giving me again this time. Okay, so let's see what your message is for this week. Okay, this looks pretty good. So, the horse indicates freedom. You always have a choice, is what this is saying. There is always a choice. It sometimes doesn't feel like a very free one. But they're just saying that hold firm is what they're saying. Hold firm and do not compromise your own values, your own. So it's like somebody is wanting you to do something that is outside of your moral compass. Please don't. That will hurt your integrity completely and your value system. That, it'll hurt you in ways on the inside that you can't even foresee yet. So please hold firm and do what you feel you need to do for yourself. Okay. And it is your freedom that gives you the ability to do that. Okay. Okay. It feels like they're giving me this wind in the hair feeling. It feels very good. Feels very good. It's almost like flying rather than riding a horse is what they're giving me, what the feeling is that they're giving me. Okay. All right. So in conjunction with that, to keep being able to make your own choices and things like that, ask for your needs to be met. So whether this is your angels you're asking, and I hope you are asking them every day because they come through every time, right? Maybe not instantly, but it does always come back around. But also the people around you, the people who appear to be kind of in control of the situation, ask. Just say, this is what I need, and can you provide that for me? And, see what can happen. Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no, but in a different way, or, right? Usually it's not just a flat out no. It's usually something in between, right? Often it's a yes. And so when the people around you don't know what you need, they cannot possibly provide it. So you do have to ask. This is you kind of stepping out, being, excuse me, with your freedom of choice, and your angels advising you to stand firm and ask for what you need. Because otherwise, how do you get it? Nobody knows you want it or need it, right? So definitely be vocal about that. Be energetically broadcasting that, and that's how you get that to come to you. Okay. Yes, and take charge of that. I mean, be very proactive with it. If there's something that you need, you're the one who can go after it. You're the one who can say what it is and can say, well, this is what I see as a solution. Can we work together towards that? And, it takes a certain amount of assertiveness. Now, they're calling it being bold here with the cougar. But it's like in human terms, this is being assertive. Not aggressive, because that just makes people not want to help you, right? So, so the more you're just confident and know what it is you need and see a solution, state the solution, and the more you're willing to work with the other party, the more chance of success that you have, right? And so you being your own advocate is what you need to be doing. So it sounds like the feedback kind of that I'm getting is that you're sitting there going, oh crap, that's what my worst thing. I hate doing that. Well, there comes a time in everybody's life where you have to be your own advocate, or for that of your children, your young children, right? Nobody gets through life without doing this. If you do, it means that all you're doing is rolling over and letting everybody else prevail over you. And so, no, it's time. And, you already know that you can do this. You've done it before. It's not your preferred thing, no, but you can sure do it. I mean, it's not horrible. Okay. All right. Yes, you can. It's like everything is in kind of stages and degrees, right? And so for some of you, this might be just a tiny little wee thing. Like, no, are you kidding me? Like they did a whole reading about this. This is little. And in a way, maybe it is. Maybe that particular circumstance is little. But coming up are larger ones, and it's giving you practice of how to do this, right? Of how to stand for yourself, of how to be firm, how to know who you are and what you need, and how to ask for that, how to compromise about it, how to be assertive, how to have your own boundaries and enforce them. That's what this is about. Okay, so in that way, when you're asking for what you need, you can be creating partnerships. And so it does feel like for some of you, this is quite literally a partnership, whether it's in business or whether it's a life partner, or, what exactly this is, they're not saying because there's so many of you. It could suit in many different ways. So for some of you, it's quite literally a partnership where you need to be diligent about creating boundaries. Again, okay, here we go with boundaries and being assertive for your own needs to be met, making sure that you are looked after as well as the other person. There is definitely a fair and equitable way to do this. Yes. For some of you, though, this is a much more informal thing. This is just, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine kind of thing. And this is how a lot of things get done. And sometimes that has a negative connotation that unhealthy alliances are formed which block other people. That's not what they're talking about. They do not want anything, exclusive, right? This is to benefit all parties. Yes. So anything that makes it so that somebody else gets squished because of this is not what is desired. Nobody needs to get squished. Nobody needs to get pushed out. But what this is like a mutual admiration society is what they're giving me. So yes, this is to the benefit of all parties. Okay. All right. Now, do be careful a little bit, because there are some things which are an illusion. So make sure you're doing your due diligence. Did we talk about this last week or the week before? Make sure you're doing your due diligence with everything you're doing. So this feels like a legal matter. I don't know if that's like maybe not absolutely to the T a legal matter, but it's an agreement of some kind. And it could be with this partnership to do with the same thing. That there are some of the things are not quite what they seem. And so it's up to you to dig a little deeper, to look at everything. Ask questions of other people as well. right? And make sure you're telling the whole story. So when you ask somebody who, so for example, let's say that there's you and another person and you are creating an agreement on something, and there are other fringe people, kind of. They're not really part of the agreement, but they have an influence on it, kind of, is how this is feeling. And so then you're trying to cross all your T's and dot all your I's. So then you take it to somebody else who's maybe an expert in the field, or even somebody just whose opinion you value, whose experience you value, right? When you are talking to them and explaining the situation, be very clear and include all the details. They cannot advise you properly if you're only giving them half the story. So, talk about everything. Talk about everything with that advisor. And they're even showing me more than one. So, an accountant, a lawyer, and somebody who you value, who's maybe doesn't have a professional designation, right? And like, don't rush this, but also don't drag your feet. Get busy. Get doing this. It's time. But clear off any illusions. Make it so that there are no illusions, that everything you know is fact. Okay. All right. And so, everything that will make all of this smoother, all your choices, all your standing firm, your creating boundaries, all your doing your due diligence, is gratitude. Always, always be grateful for what's working. Always be grateful for the things that aren't really working, because you're learning from that. You've got lessons you're learning from that. Be grateful for all the steps along the way. Be grateful for your ability to choose. Always, always, always. And yes, keep lists on paper, in your head, out loud. Every way that you can express this gratitude is good. Personally, I tend to call it appreciation. It just feels better that way to me. You call it whatever you want to call it. It's the same. It's the same. And so, when we look for one last bit of wisdom from your guardian angels, we get, what do you desire? What do you actually want? Yeah, so dig deep. Dig deep. It feels like it's something buried, that it feels also like some uncertainty, like you're just not positive about something, whether you want it or you don't want it. Like it feels like it will do fine, but you're still not sure. I don't know what that means. Okay. But get to the bottom of it. See, what do you actually want? Because that way you can focus upon that. You can create it in your mind's eye. See how you want it to go, and focus on the feeling of it. And that's what brings it about. Okay, Capricorn, what a crazy reading for you guys. All right. I want you to know how much I appreciate that you've joined me for this. And I want you to know that I love you. And I will see you next week.